Hey Ryan, you're welcome. Hope you're doing all right. I don't know. Looks like you're on Periscope. Okay, cool. Let's see. I think my YouTube stream is broken again. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. This used to be so much simpler. So much simpler. Like if I go over here. No, you don't have to. I'm just goofing off, man. Getting ready to do some photo editing. Let's see. But I think I can fix my YouTube problem. Whoops. I think I can. Is this it? Yeah, that's it. YouTube does look good. Okay, cool. But my title is all wrong again. Just so I'm fixing that title so that's right there. And yeah, now I do see that it's live and saved. Dang, it's gotten hot in here all freaking ready. I might have to turn the light off because it's too daggone hot with these lights on. But anyway, hope you're doing all right, brother. Who else is in here? It says a couple people have popped in. I guess my audio sounds okay because you are responding to what I say. I'm gonna move this mic a little bit while I hop over and check out my other screen. Hey, there's old Mr. Rice. Mr. Rice is always in the house. What's up, man? You doing well? All right, so I can move this chat out of the way so I can see it over there. Boom. Cool. All right, so now I am going to go through some photos. I just imported a bunch of well, not a bunch, but I've shot a few things over the last couple of days. I don't even remember what I shot, but I know I shoot something about pretty much every day. So I had to dump my card and put them over here. And is that TweetBot? No, I use TweetDeck, but you didn't. That screen wasn't even up, so you may have seen something else. Quite possibly you saw something else. Oh, this is some stuff from my morning walks. That's what it looks like. Yep. So it's like morning walk stuff. Yeah, if you see right here, that says 7:53 a.m. a couple days ago. Ooh, that shot's overexposed. Ooh, Lord. But can we make it interesting? I don't know. Can we make this interesting? It is really overexposed. Thank goodness I shoot in RAW. Now it's come back to life. Slowly coming back to life. There we go. So yeah, but it's still a pretty boring shot though, quite honestly. It's just a little boring. Thank you, Mr. Rice. Audio is looking good. Roger that, sir. hey, if y'all are on social media or something, tell other folks to come and hang out with me too. Okay? Please and thank you. Let's see. This is a boring shot. I'm not even really enthused about it, but that's what happens. I walk around with my camera and just snap stuff, just be like that. And then there's other times where I'm actually inspired and I snap stuff. This is not one of those times, so we're gonna give that a big red label, because that means I will get rid of this shot eventually. All right, what's next here? Oh, it's a little overexposed too, but this is workable. That one's not. That's blurry, so that's going to be deleted. Dang it, I can't hit my keys right today. What's wrong with me? All right, so that's red. That's still a little bit blurry. I guess it was getting ready to take off too. Yep, that's exactly what happened. Sounds like a delivery is here. I hear a big delivery truck outside. Thank you, Kwabena. You must have looked at a nice one, because right now I'm looking at some bad ones. Yeah, that one's blurry. But that one's not. I like that one. Y'all think I should play around with this one? I'm gonna mark it yellow. If you think I should play around with the bluebird, let me know. But I'm gonna keep culling through. This one looks fun too. Yeah, these ain't bad. Could probably make some sort of I don't know, moody, creepy looking shot. What did I order today? I didn't order any. Well, I don't know. I can't remember, because a lot of the stuff, when you order it nowadays, a lot of your stuff is delayed. So I don't even remember. One of my lights, I had to get another light. That showed up yesterday. Something else showed up yesterday too. I don't know, maybe it was, what was it? Oh, I had to get some gels for one of my lights. But did they even stop here? Hold on. Yeah, it looks like they did stop here. Hold on. Okay, so yeah, they did stop here, and this is a Parabolic Softbox that I ordered from Adorama. So I got a couple of softboxes in here and an octabox, but I wanted a parabolic one to sort of help really control the light for certain shots. So that's what I'm going to go with. Probably going to use it more so in some future thumbnails for stuff I'm doing with Pruitt, and I don't know, we'll see. I'll have fun with it. I got a couple ideas, and it's always fun playing around with light. Get yourself a decent speed light. You really don't have to have all of these CFL and LEDs and strobes. You don't really have to have all of that. You can do just get you a little $50, $60 speed light, and don't use it on the camera, use it off camera with a little trigger, and you can really create some cool stuff. Let's see, Ant, are you going to the watch party with Pruitt? Yes, I am going to be on the watch party at 4 p.m. Pacific. I think that's 11 p.m. UTC. Not sure, something like that. But yeah, 4 p.m. Pacific. I will be on the Pruitt live stream watch party as we watch that crazy, oh gosh, that crazy series, Tiger King. All right, back to my photos. Trying to get a little bit of this done while we in here. But yeah, I was thinking these bird shots, maybe I could do like some weird funky composite, sort of make them spooky looking. That's a good one too. Not that one. I don't know why I shot that. It's got nice light though. Oh yeah, it's got nice light too. Yeah, I'm telling you, when I walk through the neighborhood, there's so many rose bushes at people's edge of the yard. It's insane. It's really pretty. Not bad. It's not bad. Not bad either. But what about this one here? I got an idea about this one. I hate that you can see that house in the background, but I like this. I like this. Let's play around with this one. Why not? So I'm gonna go ahead and mark it yellow. Nope, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back. The bluebird is the first thing. Let's go with the bluebird first. Play around with that. All right, bluebird. Okay, so first we gotta fix the exposure. It's overexposed right here. You know what? I'm actually gonna underexpose it like that, and then see if I can bring it back to life by boosting shadows. Something like that. Take the black levels up. That's not bad. You got to be careful with the clarity button, you know, the slider right here, because, you know, let me do this. I'll zoom in. Okay. God, that looks pretty damn good. Good job, Ant. That's a good job on catching focus. All right. Sorry. Yes, I toot my own horn from time to time. Don't judge me. You should toot your own horn. Be your biggest cheerleader. Dadgummit. That's how I look at it. Anyway, so let me go back to this. Will Dunham, what's happening? Doing all right? But yeah, looking at this bird here. So you got to be careful with this clarity slider right here. It works a lot as far as getting things cleaned up, but it introduces a lot of black. See? And when you're doing sharpening, a lot of times your sharpening is adding black edges to make things look sharper. And clarity does the same thing, except it does it on a much larger scale, if you will. And if you look at it here, see if I can zoom in some more. Let's see. Why is that not working? Let's change this zoom. There we go. So if you look here, that's really, really defined right there in that area. And this is what it was. This is what it was without the clarity. And so clarity and sharpness does a really good job of just bringing out some definition, but clarity will really introduce a lot more black to your image. So be mindful about using clarity. It works for a lot of situations, but don't overdo it. I'm glad Adobe put this slider in, the texture slider, because the texture slider acts more like a high pass filter, which gives you sharpening around a different frequency. So notice the detail is coming back into the feathers right there, but it's not getting black. You know what I'm saying? So just keep that in mind if you guys use Lightroom. Be careful with clarity. Sometimes clarity can overdo it just a bit. But if that's the look you're going for, go for it. Have at it. Sometimes I do that too. I just go overboard on things. All right, so now let's give this a little more exposure. Just a little bit. Don't want to push it too much. Okay. It's not bad, little bluebird. Push his vibrance up just a little bit. Make that blue stand out. Not bad, little bluebird. Cool. I think that looks pretty good. I could probably crop some of this because this little piece over here ain't necessary. It doesn't really add to the scene, so I'm just gonna get rid of it. And I could crop that down too, like that. Something like that. Well, let's make this a square crop just to be safe. See how close we are on a square crop. And the square crop doesn't quite work for me. Yeah, it does. That looks okay. Might be a little too much headroom on it. What y'all think? Yeah, I like this. It's not necessarily perfectly centered. I think that's a little more interesting. But let's just have some fun with some of the filters inside of Lightroom. I like the artistic filters. I like Artistic 4 in particular. So that looks pretty nice. Oh, you're too kind, Ryan. You're too kind. Just keep shooting, man. Everybody's got a smartphone that's got a little camera on it. Everybody can shoot nowadays. I don't care who you are. I don't care your skill level. Just shoot. You'll get better the more you shoot. It's all about hours. I like this filter, Artistic 5. Let's go with that. So I'm gonna close that. Then we'll put a little bit of vignette on it. Cool. All right, so this looks fine, but the bird's face is a little dark. So let's fix that by doing some selective adjustments. So we'll do shadows. Brush in here. Bring up the shadows in the bird's face like that. We'll push up the exposure just a little. There we go. So now the bird's face isn't all blacked out. Looking pretty good, right? Now, I got an idea. I don't know if I could pull it off, but let's go into Photoshop real quick. I say real quick, loosely. And then I'll go check Twitter too. Hold on, let me check what's going on with Twitter. Well, Twitter's not going to open up. There it goes. Yeah, lots of notifications, lots of retweets. I appreciate the retweets. It means a lot. And Jason's retweeting me. Wow. I'm going to have to come back to Twitter. That's a lot over there. Sometimes I can go through my notifications and it could be a little bit of work. Ooh. So yeah, I'll come back to Twitter, check that out. But I want to play around with this here bird. So let's I'm going to try something that may not work, but we'll see. All right, see now that's over sharp. So we need to turn this down a little bit. Yeah, I think it was sharp the way it was. Let's bring it back just a touch. All right, that's before. That's after. Okay, that's a little bit better. Still a touch too sharp. Just a little. Okay, that's a little bit better. All right, so now I want to try something here. I'll duplicate this layer. And I want to play around with the bird's eye. So I am going to make a selection. I need my Wacom tablet. Hold on. So I'm not going to do this with a mouse. Grabbing the Wacom tablet. Grabbing the stylus. All right. So now. Okay, so let's make a little selection around this eye. Doesn't have to be perfect, but fairly close helps. All right. Then I'm going to say select, modify, and I'm going to feather that selection by like 10 pixels. And when I do that, that makes the selection a little bit softer around the edge, like that. So now I will take this and I will duplicate that layer. Boom. So it will only give me the eyeball, like that. Yeah, that doesn't look as good as I'd like. So I'm going to take that layer away and I'm going to work on that selection again, but this time I won't feather it as much. So I think the feathering took away the detail. So say select, modify, feather, and we'll say like 3 pixels. Something like that. All right, so now we'll duplicate this layer. There we go. Now that looks better. So now I just have the eyeball isolated right here on that one layer. Next, I am going to add a curves adjustment layer. And if I do this, it's going to overexpose everything. I don't want to do that. I want to make this adjustment layer only work for that eyeball. So I'm going to hold down the Alt key and I'm going to click right between here. So now the curves adjustment is only going to affect the eyeball. So watch. Push that up like that. See? The eye got really, really bright like that. But I'm going to zoom out so we can get a better look to see if this will even work on this scale, you know. So push it up like that. See the eye changing? It's getting brighter. Like that. And then what I'll do is I'll click on this layer mask down here. It's got a layer mask built into it already. And I'm going to zoom back in on the eyeball right about here and make sure I'm on my layer mask, and I'm going to brush out the extra layer mask. Don't really need it on the pupil, so we'll just brush that away. And then I'll brush a little bit around the edge. So now the eyeball is a little bit more shiny when you look at it. See? Looks a little bit better. If I take it back. Just trying to give it some, you know, a little extra detail, you know. I think that works. Actually, yeah, I think that works better that way. Thank you, Mr. Rice. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so that looks interesting, right? Let's do, y'all want to do some color grading real quick? Let's do a little color grading. Where's my tool? Right there, gradient map. And we'll go with change this to looks weird, I know. Bear with me. I'm going to change to blend mode. Yeah, we'll go with soft light. So that green is a bit much. Like that. What happens if I make this blue darker? Well, it almost looks like the original, but it gives it a little bit more punch on the blue. Okay, so let's see, what does this look like without it? Yeah, it's very close. Not so sure. It's always fun to just sort of experiment with color. You know, blue and green is very complementary. We can go blue and yellow. That's complementary too. What about that? So this is what it looked like before, and this is after. Before, after. I like the blue, it's just the highlights that I'm struggling with. So let's remember this hex color here. I'm going to copy. And all I did was I just copied and pasted that hex color into Notepad just in case I need it for in a few seconds. Because I'm going to keep experimenting, and right now that yellow hex code is working best, but I want to see what it would look like with an orange hue. You know what I mean? Ruh-roh, it messed up my points. There we go. Had to delete that. There was an extra point in there. Yeah. Yeah, it still looks like the yellow is the way to go. Okay. All right. I think that's pretty cool. So what I'll do now is zoom in a little bit and just sort of give it a once over. Yep, good point, Mr. Joshua. You know, but then another thing that you may not know about me with my cameras, 9 times out of 10, I'm shooting in a custom white balance. I usually shoot at about 4400K because I like cooler images. I don't necessarily care to shoot in a warmer color temperature like 5600K and stuff like that. That's pretty common. That's what you'll see most of the time. And then when I set the camera to auto white balance, you get stuck with shooting warmer like that. And then if you tell it to use one of those custom white balances on there, sometimes they're not cool enough. Sometimes they're too cool. Sometimes they're too warm, you know, because they got about 4 or 5 different options that you can pick from in your white balance. So what I do, I just go in and set a manual custom white balance. And I found that for my style, 4400K is the way to go. So that shot, when you saw it originally, you could tell it was a little bit cooler in temperature. So of course the blues are going to always look interesting, in air quotes, greens, like you said, stuff like that. Good eye, man. Okay, so what am I going to do with this thing, y'all? It just seems like I'm missing something. I got an idea. Let's do this. Let's do this. I'm going to merge all of these. If my mouse wants to work, there we go. Merge layers like that. Hold on, what happened? No, I did it right. Okay, merge layers. And I'm going to do a duplicate like that. No, I dragged to the wrong one. Duplicate. There we go. Boy, I tell you, I'm thankful for the undo key on the computer. So then I'm going to turn this top layer off. And on this layer, I'm going to make it sort of have like a painterly effect. So I'm going to convert this to a smart object. Then I will go filter, blur, Gaussian blur. And that's way too blurry, as you can see. So we're going to turn that blurriness down. So we're going to start at 0. And we'll make it just a little blurry, just a little. All right. And then we'll make this top layer, turn it back on, but then we'll put a layer mask on that top layer. Make our brush tool a little bit bigger. And then we're going to go up here where it says flow. We're going to say flow a little bit lower, like 4% should be fine. So now, and then I'll make sure my brush has a soft edge, so the hardness is 0. Very good. And I'm just going to brush just a little bit. Definitely going to brush on the head right there. because we want some detail, but we also want it to show that it's a soft, feathery bird. You know what I'm saying? And in this background, I could really go wild with it and just soften it up totally, because it's all blurry anyway. So why not just soften it up some more, like that. Something like that. And then the wood, again, we'll just barely touch it, because the wood can have some texture. But like I said, I think doing this gives it more of a, like a painterly effect. You know, it's not really, really soft, and it's not really, really hard when you look at it from a texture standpoint. So let's do that just a little bit. But we still want to keep that eye nice and sharp though. I'm not going to mess with that. All right. You probably can't tell in the live stream, but this is the before. And then this is the after. So let me do it this way. This is the before. And this is the after. I dig it. One more thing before we go back to Lightroom. Nah, don't do that. I'm also noticing a bit of a halo around him too. See the halo around his head? That's fun to fix. So we'll do a new layer. We'll do clone stamp. So we'll do a surround my keyboard. Clone stamp. There we go. Alt. Nah, don't like that. Doesn't look good at all. But I don't like this halo. How am I going to fix that? Let's delete this layer. Go back. We're going to use a little bit of AI. We're going to say, let's do the selection tool. It's all an experiment. I may not even be able to fix this without it being a pain in the butt. How about that? Oops, went too far. Okay, so now I'm going to duplicate that. So now its head is on its own little layer now. Well, it's supposed to be. Geez, Ant, come on, get it together. Delete that layer. Let's do this again. Select there, duplicate. Now it's on its own layer, like that. So now if I take this away, it should just be a head. Got it. So we got the head. I'm gonna go back. No, I was right going the other way. Redo. There we go. So I'm going to go over here to its, turn that off. And I'm pretty much just going to fill all of this in. Like I'll just fill this area in. We'll push all of this out a little more because I want to get rid of the halo. So I'll fill it in like that. And then I will do edit, content aware fill. And I don't want the body. I only want this background to fill in the space. Okay, there we go. And you can see Adobe's trying to fill it in right there. That's all I want. And it's doing a decent job. It ain't great, but it's doing decent. So I hit OK here. And that filled in its head. So now if I turn this layer back on, the halo's gone. See that? But I'm going to turn this layer off because it still could be cleaned up a little bit more. So let's do a clone stamp, or maybe even just a patch tool. Pardon me. Oops, too much. Okay, that's getting better. Just trying to clean that up some, that's all. Make sure these edges are soft. There we go. And it looks really weird when it's zoomed in like this. But when I zoom out, it's going to look quite nice. Okay, so watch. Like that. There we go. And then when I get into Lightroom, I can blur that out even more. So I'm going to hit save and close, and it's going to take us back to Lightroom. Then I can go back over here, do another adjustment brush, say soften skin, and you notice that takes clarity down, and this takes sharpness down. And we're going to brush that away to make that blur a little bit better. And if you want, you can right click on that and say duplicate that brush to make it even more blurry. Let's take that texture down too. So that really softens things up. Clarity down, sharpness down, and push the noise up, and it'll smooth it out like that. But unfortunately, I caught a little bit of his head too, so I need to fix that. So we get rid of the extra on the head. There we go. I think that turned out quite nicely. So I'm going to mark this one. Okay, I'm going to mark this with the number 8. And I'm going to send this to Instagram here in a little bit. Like that. Cool. Okay, what was that other one we was looking at? How long have I been streaming? Oh gosh, I've probably been on here way too long. There was one down here on the end that I liked. I think it was this one. Yeah, it was this one. Sometimes you can do the auto correction and, well, auto post-processing, and the AI would do a good job. So I'm gonna hit auto, and yeah, it didn't do a lot, but it's okay. So I'll bring it up just a little bit. I think that works. I think that works. At least it works for what I got in my head. Excuse me. So I want to go down here to some of the HSL stuff, hue, saturation, light, and luminance. Let's give this orange. Okay. Greens, push the greens up. Okay. All right. And then I want to get into split toning. Thank you, Josh. I figured it's been close to an hour. Sort of felt like it. The shadows, the highlights, I want to make the highlights and the split toning a little more golden, like that. Nice and golden. And then we'll do green on the bottom, like that. Yeah, I dig that. But I want to give it that whole painterly effect, similar to what we did with the bird. Yeah, something like this here. If I warm it up some more, that's going to really make that yellow and orange stand out some more. So we just warmed it up. All right, so now we'll go into Photoshop. Dang, it's almost time for the live stream for Twit. Got an hour. Okay, Photoshop is open. Let's do this. I don't want to sharpen it too much. Actually, this will speed up. Oh crap. Oh dang it. There, let's try this again. There it goes. Come on. Calvin. Hey, good to see you too, man. All right, so now we got that. You see it's nice and sharp. See all the details in the trees and stuff. That's because of that high pass filter. But I want to fix that. I want to make it a little more painterly. So if I turn this off, you see it's a little more blurred now. So I'm going to turn this back on. Then I'm going to do a layer mask, just like we did before. Layer mask. And I want to bring out a little bit of that softness down here in the foliage and stuff. So we got the flow on the brush. I'm going to take the flow down really low. And we're just going to, what? Oh, I got to rasticize. Jeez. There. Now we got our brush. So I'll just brush that in a little bit just to soften the foliage, the flowers. Keep the tree. How's that? See, it's not totally sharp, but it's not totally blurred out of focus either. It's just a little softness. I might have gone overboard right here, so I need to put that back. Something like that. Okay, I like that. But let's give it some, I want to give it a little bit of mist too. So I'm going to close this group. I'm going to do new layer just on top of it. And I'm going to grab a different brush here at the brush menu. Dang it, which one? There we go. Scroll down. There's my dust brush that I got from Miss Lisa Carney. Alright. Make it bigger. And then as far as the color, I want to use some sort of color that's close to what you see in the scene. So it's got to be a little bit golden like that. That way it sort of looks like the sun. So actually let's try this hue here. And now I brush it in. See how it gives it a little bit more atmosphere? Just a little more haze. See what I'm saying? Something like that. Okay, I went overboard right here in this spot, so I need to do a layer mask. Change the brush back to my regular brush. Brush it away. So I went overboard just a touch right there. I think that works. The only problem I have now is the cropping. So I don't like this blue sky or white sky showing up at the top. So I can crop this down. And I want to try to keep it in the 16:9 or 9:16 aspect ratio. So, of course, not that way. Whoops. I'm struggling with my mouse. Ratio. Let's say 9:16, like that. And that works pretty good. Just cut it down just a little. Something like that. I think that works pretty good. Save it, go back to Lightroom. Well, whenever Lightroom decides to, not Lightroom, Photoshop decides to save it. Any day now. There we go. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Let's give it a little bit of a vignette. Am I struggling with my mouse today? Jeez, Aunt, get it together. Where's the vignette? There we go. I dig it. It still has a little too much green for me. Let me see if I can fix that. Down here. There we go. Now we're getting there. There we go. It's still green, but I wanted a little more of the orange hue and red hue to come through. Now we got it. I think that works, folks. I think that's the shot. Cool. I'm going to give that the stamp of approval. And I'll have that go out to Instagram in a minute too. So we'll say export with a preset. Insta. Boom, it's done. All right. I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to open up this modifier that I got. From Adorama. Yeah, this is Easy Lock Deep Parabolic modifier. I will put a link in this video description if you're interested. I'm also a Adorama affiliate, so if you guys want to shop Adorama, because right now Amazon is a little bit too slow for you, remember that Adorama gives you an option. Just use my affiliate link. I'll put it in the video description right now. Okay, any questions before I go? I don't even know how many people are watching right now. Dang, it's getting hot in here. All right, no questions. I am going to get out of here. You all have a good day. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sharing. Make sure you check out my shows at Pruitt. Hands-on Photography was released yesterday with its newest episode, and Hands-on Wellness released its new episode today. Subscribe to them in your podcatcher of choice. They have new episodes each Thursday for Hands-on Photography, and Hands-on Wellness goes out each Friday. So just go there and subscribe, check them out, and share with other folks. Okay. Thanks for watching. It's good to see you, Ryan. Good to see you, Mr. Calvin and Mr. Joshua in the chat there. Y'all take it easy and hang out for the live stream with Twit here in a little while we watch Tiger King. Oh boy, that's going to be interesting. Peace out.